My name is Troy Beekle. I'm Horticulture Specialist for Premier Tech Horticulture's Grower Services Department. Hi, today I want to talk to you about macronutrient deficiencies and excesses. And macronutrients, first of all, what are they? They're defined as elements that are required in high levels by the plant. So these elements include nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, calcium, magnesium, and sulfate. Those are your 6 macronutrients. Now, generally speaking, you can either have too much of a macronutrient. It's not necessarily going to be a toxicity, but high levels of one element could inhibit uptake of another. So you want to correct that. So for instance, if you have high levels of, let's say, nitrogen or phosphorus, that's usually an indication that your application rate is probably too high. So it could either be that you're putting on too high a rate of a fertilizer, you may need to back down the rate, or your fertilizer injector solution is not mixed properly, or perhaps your injector itself is not working properly. So you want to check those to be sure. If you use control release fertilizers, if it's fairly warm outside or even hot, they tend to release at a much faster rate, which can actually cause some excessive salt buildup and excessive uptake of macronutrients. So you want to take a look at that as well. In the case of calcium, magnesium, and sulfate, we mentioned in other programs that these elements are also supplied by the water. So if you see excesses of those, you want to check your water as well as your media and tissue to find out where is it coming from. If it's coming from your water, you may not need to be supplying it through your fertilizer, or if it's coming from the fertilizer, back down on the rates in the fertilizer. Now with macronutrient deficiencies, again, because it's not pH related or anything else, it simply has to do with the application rate. So for instance, if you're running low on nitrogen or phosphorus or potassium, that means your application rate probably needs to be increased. If you have a low phosphorus feed, you may have to switch to a different feed to provide what's missing from that fertilizer. Now, in the case of calcium, magnesium, and sulfate, if they're low in the growing media and tissue, that may indicate, first of all, they're not being provided by the fertilizer or at very low rates, and may also not be provided by the water. So again, that water analysis is important. Compare that with your fertilizer and make sure you're providing what the needs of the plants are. And I want to thank you for listening to this presentation on macronutrients. If you have any more questions about this topic, feel free to contact your Premier Tech Grower Services representative. Thank you.
For more information about ProMix products, visit our website and follow us on social media.